Hey guys, my name is Kush Panthaki, and I show people how to start their own online businesses and make money from home. And today I want to talk to you about the concept of legacy. You see, back in the 1800s, so the 19th century, there was a Swedish chemist by the name of Al. Now, Al finished up his university and he found himself in Paris, where he met the inventor of nitroglycerin. Now, if you don't know what nitroglycerin is, it is a highly volatile, highly dangerous chemical, highly explosive chemical. And Al became fascinated by this. You know, nitroglycerin had been used for blasting through rocks, but because it was so volatile and so dangerous, it was so dangerous to transport, and a lot of people got killed. There was a lot of destruction during transportation and that sort of thing. So Al became fascinated with trying to conceive of a way to harness nitroglycerin and make it safer. So after months and months and years of research, he developed dynamite. Now, the funny thing is that Al was a pacifist. He was all about peace. And he thought that by introducing dynamite to the world, not only could he monetize it, i.e. sell it for mining practices, but that the volatility and dangerousness of dynamite would actually scare certain governments and militaries from ever conducting war. Well, I think we all know how that turned out, but nonetheless, he sold the dynamite to various mining companies. So he set up some manufacturing plants, and he became so successful at this that he actually started to expand the manufacture of dynamite, and eventually was bought up by militaries of various governments. And he became so successful from that, he also developed something called Bastille, which is the precursor to smokeless explosives. And eventually, he was able to use his now new wealth to purchase an iron and steel company, which he then transformed into a cannonball manufacturer. Well, we all know what cannonballs are, again, used in war, despite the fact that this guy was a pacifist. Well, one morning, Al is reading the newspaper, and he is shocked to find a premature obituary of him. Turns out it was actually somebody else who died. It was Al's brother who had died, but for some reason the article thought it was Al. And in this article, the headline screamed, "The Dynamite King is dead." And then further in the article, it called him the Merchant of Death, who was responsible for more deaths than ever before up to that point. And he is finally dead. Now, can you imagine reading a premature obituary where you're called the Merchant of Death? Now, this prompted something in Al's mind, and it said, this can't be my legacy. I don't want to go down in history known as the Merchant of Death. So what did he do? He actually decided to completely redo his will, and he decided to bequeath the majority of his vast fortune to causes that actually furthered the development of humanity. And he decided to do it in the form of a prize, which he would then give out to people and organizations which promote, again, the betterment of society, the betterment of humanity. Now, many of you may not have known that Al was the developer of and the inventor of dynamite, but you will know the prize that is now associated with his name. His name is Alfred Nobel, i.e. the Nobel Prize, Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Prize for economics, for science, for art, for literature, so on and so forth. So the whole point is, he completely transformed how the world saw him. and how history saw him. So I want to know, what is your obituary going to say? You know, when you, during the day that you eventually pass on, what is your obituary going to say about you? You know, I know that certainly 10, 11 years ago, if somebody had written my obituary, had I dropped dead then, it would have read something along the lines of, Cush Panthaki was a competent journalist who did his job, never really did anything extraordinary, didn't win any awards, but he just met expectations. You know, sure, I would have been remembered. He was remembered by his colleagues and his family as a nice guy, but he never really lived up to his potential. And that's pretty scary. So I want to know, drop me a comment down below. What's your legacy? What is your obituary going to say about you? You know, I'd love to hear what you think your obituary, what your legacy is going to be. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything as vast as a Nobel Prize or anything like that. But let me know what you think your obituary is going to read. And love to get that discussion going. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful, blessed day. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.